visual to show everybody else that we are going to make this change and that it's a definite thing, and when we do go back to our towns and wherever else we go, that we're going to stand up for no underage drinking.
Hi, what's your name?
My name's Stephanie Zero. I'm the Teen Services Librarian at the Maple Valley Library.
And why do you want to draw the line between youth and alcohol?
Well, I went to this workshop on the development of the teen brain, and it turns out that the teen brain develops at the same rate as an infant brain, which is a really high rate. So between 11 and 22, there's this window of opportunity for the teen brain to develop, and alcohol would inhibit that. So I really want to, give teens a good chance at brain development and having a good life.
So how do you plan on drawing the line between youth and alcohol?
Well, at the Maple Valley Library, we offer a lot of free resources for teens outside of school hours and during school hours. Free internet resources, safe place for kids to come and study, do study groups. I also do teen programming, like teen after hours. After the library closes, we reopen the library just for teens, and they come and play video games and eat snacks and have free use of the library. We have like a young authors club after school, all free. That's an important part for teens because they don't have a lot of resources. So just a place for teens to go.
Thanks for helping the Maple Valley as part of the Let's Draw the Line campaign.
You're welcome.
Hi, my name is Carla.
Hi, my name's Jessie. What's your name?
My name's Karen Crow, and I'm the president of the Greater Maple Valley Black Diamond Chamber of Commerce.
What's your statement about let's draw the line between youth and alcohol?
The Greater Maple Valley Black Diamond Chamber of Commerce fully endorses and supports young people who choose sobriety over alcohol abuse. Perhaps the most well-known effort by the Chamber to create a safe, alcohol and drug-free environment for young people and their families to come together is at the annual Hooked on Fishing Derby. Each year, many teenagers and young children join their families to camp at Lake Wilderness, fish, and enjoy a safe and fun weekend. Together with local businesses, we work on behalf of our young people to provide family-friendly activities and do what we can to set a good example of how people can have fun without drinking. Over the years, we've read about teenagers who run into troubles or lose their lives when drinking. We take pause when these situations occur and remind ourselves that it is critical to set an example to our children and draw the line about underage drinking. Personally, I have 2 grown children and a teenager and believe the need to create safe events for our families in Maple Valley is paramount. As the Chamber President, I support the continued efforts of our city, Chamber, and business community to create safe, alcohol-free events for our families and children.
Thank you for participating in the Maple Valley Youth Council part of the Washington State Let's Draw the Line campaign.
Thanks for giving me the opportunity.
I'm Todd Ballinger, and I'm with the Maple Valley Youth Council, and I'm here today with Mr. Jackson of the Tahoma High School, and I'm here to ask you how and why do you draw the line between youth and alcohol?
Well, I appreciate you asking me. It's something that I believe very strongly in. When I was in high school, I had a friend that was drinking and driving, and actually was driving a motorcycle and ended up crashing into a bulkhead because he was completely drunk, and he ended up dying. It was a hard time in our high school. That was our senior year, and it was about 2 months before graduation. But even prior to that, I was never really into the alcohol scene because I saw how silly and stupid some of my friends were. And so as I got older, yes, of course, my friend getting killed on a motorcycle was kind of tough for all of us. But I looked at other people and looked at my friends and other acquaintances and things that were going on in the news. And I think it's just so important that we stay away from it, especially in the youth, because once they start at the younger age, I feel if they start young, they're going to keep going on and on and on. And it just, from what I've seen, it gets worse and worse and worse. I don't think that sometimes the kids, the temptation is too high, and they tend to just kind of overuse it, and they don't think of the consequences that could come of it.
Well, thank you for doing this with us.
Well, thank you, Todd. I appreciate you coming down, and I appreciate what you're doing, because having the young people of today, the youth of today that are really our future, doing things like this and helping other youth, I think that it's the most important thing that you can do as a citizen. So thank you for doing this.
So I'm Cassidy, and I'm part of Youth Council. You are?
Monica Robbins. I'm the intervention counselor for the Tullahoma School District.
So why do you want to draw the line between youth and alcohol?
I want to draw the line because of the number of teen alcohol deaths that continue to rise. I want to lower that number.
So what are you going to do to draw the line between teens and alcohol?
I want to continue to do the work that I do in the schools with the prevention squad, Red Ribbon Week, other prevention activities that we do here at school, and running counseling groups and working with students individually to help them stop using drugs and alcohol.
Awesome. Thank you for participating.
Thank you.
My name is Mario.
And I'm Veronica, and we are from the Junior Youth Council. What's your name?
Hi, I'm Jim Flynn. I'm both a board member here at the Maple Valley Community Center and with the Maple Valley Chamber of Commerce. I've also been involved with a lot of other community organizations for quite a while here in Maple Valley.
Okay, so what are your thoughts about drawing the line and youth and alcohol?
Well, I'm a parent of a teenager and a 21-year-old, and I've been a youth sports coach, a Boy Scout leader, and also been involved with a lot of other community organizations for quite a while. And my concern is about what happens to youth if they, especially at a young age, get involved with alcohol. I think it leads to a lot of other unhealthy and bad activities. And the way it impacts me is in my business, I'm a property manager. The businesses that I work with and for, they suffer from things like vandalism, graffiti, shoplifting, which creates more work for me, more hassle, more expense. And I think a lot of those activities are engaged in by young people, and getting involved with alcohol, I think, leads to those other bad activities.
So how do you think the community can help to draw the line?
Well, from what I've seen, in our community here, there's a lot of parents that have to leave and go to work. So their kids are left home alone or unsupervised for a lot of hours after school. And I think that a way that those kids who are good kids, I think a way that they could be encouraged to stay out of trouble is by having a lot of healthy and useful things to do. Things like youth council, things like activities at the den, after school sports. I think there's a lot of opportunities for community groups like the community center, like the Chamber of Commerce, the City of Maple Valley, and others. There's a lot of opportunities for those groups to provide activities for those kids so that even though their parents have to go away to work, they'll have something to do after school to keep them from dabbling in alcohol, which I think leads to these other issues that I've mentioned.
Well, thank you for participating with us in the Draw the Line campaign.
All right.
Proclamation, our Maple Valley Youth Council, and we have a proclamation for draw the line between youth and alcohol. So I would like to invite our youth council representatives, Crystal and Jose, to come up to the front and the council to line up here. As is our custom, we'll start out here with Councilmember Parnell is absent, so Councilmember Allison is going to do the first two stanzas to us for harmony. Councilmember.
Whereas we live in a complex and challenging world, both locally and globally, our children's future will depend on their ability to navigate through choices that can offer great possibility, and choices that can create risk. And whereas, as a community, we are responsible for giving our kids the tools and confidence to make good choices. Underage drinking undermines and detracts from our kids' health, growth, and their future. And
whereas about 6.8 million Americans between ages 12 and 20 are binge drinkers, that is, consuming 5 or more drinks in a row in a single occasion, including 2.5 million heavy drinkers, which is consuming 5 or more drinks on the same occasion on at least 5 different days, and approximately 8% of the nation's 8th graders, 24% of the 10th graders, and 32% of 12th graders have been drunk in the last month. And
whereas
Use of alcohol and other drugs is associated with the leading causes of death and injury. For example, in motor vehicle collisions, homicides, and suicides among teenagers and young adults. In many cases, the young people killed in motor vehicle collisions are innocent victims of drunk driving. And
whereas alcohol use is also implicated in 1 to 2/3 of sexual assaults and acquaintance or date rape cases among teens and college students. And
whereas, as a community, let's make our own choice. Let's choose to give our youth a childhood free of alcohol. As parents, let's lead by example and not condone or allow alcohol at our kids' parties and encourage them to be leaders by not giving into peer pressure. As business leaders, let's not sell alcohol to our youth. As community leaders, let's support the enforcement of our laws and their consequences when broken. And
now therefore I, Noel T. Gherkin, Mayor of the City of Maple Valley, do hereby proclaim that March 11th is Draw the Line Between Youth and Alcohol Month in the City of Maple Valley. I also call upon all citizens, parents, governmental agencies, public and private institutions, businesses, hospitals, and schools in the City of Maple Valley to support the efforts of the Maple Valley Youth Council, which will help prevent underage drinking throughout our community. Thank you, Maple Valley Youth Council.
Hi, I'm Tavares.
And I'm Todd, and this is
Senator Cheryl Flug, and we're here to encourage kids to draw the line between themselves and alcohol. And the reason we want to do that is because we love you more than life itself, guys, and those of us that have been keeping the planet warm for a while understand what can happen. I remember my senior year in high school coming around the corner on graduation night and having to rescue people from an upside down car. And one of those seniors is finally able to read a book by turning the pages with an automatic machine because he's a quadriplegic. And that's not something we want for anybody. So how do you draw the line? You know what I think you should do? Have a really good conversation with your parents. This is what I tell my kids. I say, I care only about your safety, and so whatever it takes to keep you safe, then that's what I will back you up in doing, and you can always make me the heavy. If you need a ride home, or you need an excuse to leave a place you don't feel safe, you can blame me. You can make up anything you want. You tell your friends you'll be grounded for a year. You probably will be if you don't go. But whatever you need to do, then you use me for an excuse, and I will, no questions asked, come and get you and back you up. So just be safe, kids.
So thank you, Cheryl, for helping us with this.
No, you're welcome. I'm really proud of you.